Welcome to another week of Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us. We were off last week, and by off I mean we just didn't make a video, so
yeah,
things got busy week. So we're back this week with leading up to Easter with Good Friday. Join us Good Friday at 6, Easter Sunday 8:45 and 11:15 with breakfast in the FLC for everybody at 10 a.m. So we hope you'll join us if you're able. If you're not able to join us in person, we hope you connect with us online at one of our services this weekend, both Good Friday and the 8:45. Is it 8:45? Yeah, 8:45 service.
Yes,
will be online as well. So just leading into Easter Sunday, I had a thought about what is God up to in your life, and are you open to being led to what God is doing? As we look at the story of Jesus's crucifixion, there were a lot of people that weren't aware of what God was up to, and part of that's by design, and part of that is just even after the fact, where the disciples, they're locked in a room, scared, and because they don't want to be killed like Jesus was, and that got me thinking. When's the last time you stopped and thought, what is God up to here? And there's things God can be lining up all around us, but if we're not looking for it, we might miss it. And it's easy to get caught up in, I have to do this. This is my day. It's so full. I can't take any more. I have no margin to take any time to go look at anything else. And I think we run the risk of missing what God's up to. And there are definitely people over the years who have missed, both in salvation and in impact, what God is up to in their lives. But as we approach Holy Week, what is God up to?
It's like we need an angel like that was at the tomb, and here the ladies are there.
It'd be great, wouldn't
it?
And
he goes, the angel goes, remember what he told you.
Yeah.
He told you he'd do this.
Yeah.
But with all the emotion, with all the trauma, with everything going on around them, it just immediately, all the time they had spent with Jesus, all the wisdom he had offered them, all the time she told them what was going to happen, it just sucked everything out of them at the cross.
Well, that's how it works, right? People, we have, there's times where we have so much going on that is outside of our control, right? People in the hospital, jobs busy, kids are, kids and their sports schedules and all of this, that it sucks that focus out of what has God up to. And it'd be nice if there was an angel, right?
Yeah,
but oftentimes it's those times that God's lining something up for us, right? Isn't it true that sometimes when it seems like things are just crazy, that's when God launches something new, or God's working on something new in your life. We talked briefly about 2 years ago on Friday. It'll be the 2-year anniversary since we started our online ministry at First Baptist, and that was launched out of a time of chaos that we've definitely seen impact individuals.
Oh man, that was a great segue. That was very well done.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, with that, thousands of views, thousands of people that we've had people that actually have watched and come to church, which that ministry is shifting to that in many ways. But we had no idea that chaos that we were thrust in right before Easter.
Yeah,
right before Easter, and we're like, God, why are you doing this? And there was fear, there was anxiety, there was a question whether we'd even have jobs. It was like that. I remember that, well, what's going to happen? How's the church going to react? And God was preparing us for a very good season. We had a very good season as pastoral staff, but we look back and we see God's hand through it all in the midst of it. And I pray we never forget that. In fact, we remind ourselves sometimes of that. Those moments, because I remember there were 3 of us that time. We just sat in a room and looked at each other. We're like,
what do we do?
What do we do? You do this, you do this, you do this. Everybody else kind of pulled back, and we were walking through it, engaging it, and the whole, not just our church, but the whole world was in this chaos and fear. And I think of some of the series we did through that are on YouTube, and I just am amazed how God led us into a process of striving for unity in the church in a time where Satan was trying all kinds of ways to break the unity church, striving for staying on mission. not preaching the culture, but preaching to the culture, and preaching to and then really loving our neighbor. And that now we see has driven us to a place where, for the first time we sent out Easter postcards. We caroled in the neighborhood. We got the new thing we're talking about all the time, not about being the mission, but being on mission. So as this weekend approaches, are we approaching it as if, it's just another holiday?
Right.
Or are we approaching it saying, okay, God, how are you gonna stretch me in those moments of the Good Friday service and that day on Friday, where help me set aside time to really focus on your death, to focus on the sacrifice. And I encourage you, if you can be here 6:00 on Friday night, come in prepared for worship and having prepared all day to get ready for that moment at the cross, or the moment of communion, or that song that you may hear. There's be a lot of music we're going to have. And then we go into that Saturday, and then we come into that celebration where, part of our vision statement is about, celebrating where God is taking us.
Right.
Where is God taking us? I pray that Easter is a day of launching into revival in all our hearts. So as we walk into those, I call it the second season, Mother's Day, Father's Day, July 4th, all those holidays that are coming up, that every one of them is just leverage for the kingdom and what God is doing. But good insight. Great question.
Yeah, and you said, this is the last thing is, you said in that there's fear and there's anxiety and there's concern, and sometimes when life is just getting going, there's all those things weighing on us, and we see those in the Good Friday and Easter story. There's fear, there's anxiety, there's confusion, but yet looking back, you see God's hand over all of it, moving through it. And I guess that's an encouragement to us to, those emotions, those thoughts are going to be there, but a reminder to not let those things overwhelm us, because we have story after story after story of God maintaining control through the midst of all those chaotic moments, and just be open to being aware of what God is doing through those times.
The power of the promise. God fulfilled His promise. And I encourage you this week, if you haven't started yet, I know it's, what is it, Tuesday?
What's Tuesday?
Is it Tuesday today? Right now?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's been a long couple of days. It's Tuesday. Just it's been that kind of couple weeks. Start reading the text. Go to YouVersion.com. Grab a small devotional that you can read, or find something that you can do to get your heart prepared to not just come and hear a little bit of the story of the account, but come with that understanding of what happened and being able to immerse yourself in those moments of worship. It starts with the Word of God, and as the Word of God moves in us, it transforms us. And maybe this be the best Easter ever. Again, our hearts prepared on the morning of Easter to come celebrate, eat a bagel, and have a great time as a community together. So I'm excited about this weekend.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good weekend. So we'd love to see you. Join us. And just we are praying for your families, and just have a great Easter season. So thanks for joining us.
God bless you.